Imagine leaving your house for a simple bike ride, one you've taken hundreds of times before, only to disappear without a trace. That's exactly what happened to 19-year-old Tara Calico, who was last seen riding her pink bicycle on a peaceful road in Belen, New Mexico, on September 20, 1988. What followed was an investigation that raised more questions than answers and a mysterious photograph that may hold the key to this tragic disappearance. Welcome to today's story, where I'll walk you through the eerie and unsolved case of Tara Calico, a disappearance that has puzzled investigators for over 3 decades. So grab a warm drink, sit by the fire, and join me as we unravel the mystery behind one of America's most enduring unsolved cases. Tara Lee Calico was born on February 28, 1969 in New Mexico. She was a bright, ambitious young woman known for her infectious energy, determination, and kindness. Tara was an aspiring psychologist and was studying at the University of New Mexico Valencia campus at the time of her disappearance. She lived with her mother, Patty Dole, and stepfather, John Dole, in a quiet neighborhood of Belen. Tara was described by her family and friends as responsible, independent, and someone who always maintained a positive outlook on life. Tara's friendships were equally important to her. She had a close-knit circle of friends who described her as adventurous and driven, always pursuing her goals with passion. One of her favorite hobbies was riding her pink Huffy bike along the isolated highway near her home. This was a regular routine for her. Tara would often bike 17 miles each day before returning home. Her family was aware of her routine, and Tara would usually leave around the same time every morning. However, her mother, Patty, had grown concerned about Tara's bike rides in recent weeks. Patty had even asked Tara to carry mace with her after noticing a suspicious vehicle following her on a previous ride. But Tara, ever independent, brushed off her mother's worries. On the morning of September 20, 1988, Tara left her house around 9:30 a.m. for her usual bike ride. She was wearing a white t-shirt with First National Bank of Belen written on it and bright yellow shorts. Tara had also brought along her Sony Walkman, and she had plans to meet her boyfriend later that afternoon to play tennis. She set off on her ride along New Mexico State Road 47, a route she took almost daily. That day, Tara never returned home. By 12 p.m., when she hadn't returned as expected, her mother became concerned. After waiting for several hours and making calls to friends and family, Patty contacted the local police. A search was immediately launched, and as authorities combed the area for any signs of Tara or her bike, they made a few chilling discoveries. Scattered along the roadside near her usual route were pieces of her broken Walkman and one of her cassette tapes. These items appeared as though they had been deliberately placed along the road, leaving the investigators with the eerie possibility that Tara had been abducted. According to witness statements, Tara was seen biking along her regular route, but what stood out to some of the witnesses was a suspicious truck following closely behind her. Multiple witnesses later reported seeing a light-colored pickup truck with a camper shell driving in the same direction as Tara, though no one could positively identify the driver or determine if Tara was aware she was being followed. Police quickly noted these reports, but they weren't able to find any substantial leads related to the truck or its owner. Law enforcement and volunteers searched the area tirelessly for days following Tara's disappearance, but they found little beyond the scattered personal items. Police initially believed Tara may have been abducted by someone driving that mysterious truck, but without further evidence, their investigation stalled. Patty, feeling frustrated with the slow progress, became more vocal in her criticism of the investigation, accusing law enforcement of not acting quickly enough in the critical first hours of her daughter's disappearance. In June 1989, a Polaroid photograph was found in a parking lot of a convenience store in Port St. Joe, Florida, 1,500 miles away from where Tara had disappeared. The photograph depicted a young woman and a boy, both with their hands bound behind their backs and tape over their mouths. They were lying on a bed inside what appeared to be a white van. The woman in the photograph bore a striking resemblance to Tara, and her family believed that it could indeed be her. The photograph was initially discovered by a woman who found it in the parking lot of the store. She turned it over to the police, and the case garnered national attention. The FBI analyzed the photo but could not conclusively determine whether the woman was Tara. Despite this, her mother, Patty, was convinced that the young woman was her daughter. She pointed out several similarities, including a scar on the woman's leg that matched a scar Tara had from a car accident. The photograph itself became a centerpiece in the investigation, not only drawing media attention but also reigniting public interest in the case. Several experts analyzed the photo, including the Los Alamos National Laboratory, which provided an inconclusive analysis as to whether the woman was Tara. The case gained further momentum when the TV show America's Most Wanted featured Tara's disappearance, prompting tips from across the country, though none led to any concrete breakthroughs. However, what made the photo so terrifying wasn't just the possibility that it showed Tara. It also suggested the grim reality that she might have been held captive for months after her disappearance. Tara's family remained steadfast in their belief that the woman in the Polaroid was her. Investigators, meanwhile, explored connections between the boy in the photo and other missing children cases. The possibility that this photograph could depict two separate kidnappings only deepened the mystery. Despite numerous leads generated from the photograph, law enforcement was never able to track down the individuals involved, and its origins remain as unsettling and elusive as the day it was found. Law enforcement initially struggled to find any solid leads. Despite the massive searches conducted by the Valencia County Sheriff's Office, the FBI and volunteers, Tara seemed to have vanished without a trace. Investigators interviewed numerous witnesses, some of whom claimed to have seen a truck following closely behind Tara as she rode her bike that morning. However, these leads never materialized into anything concrete. In the years following Tara's disappearance, the case grew colder. Patty and John Dole remained committed to finding their daughter, frequently speaking to the media and keeping her story in the public eye. They criticized the local law enforcement's handling of the case, stating that it wasn't treated with the urgency it deserved. In interviews, Patty expressed her frustrations, believing that law enforcement had failed to pursue leads aggressively enough. One of the most critical moments in the investigation occurred in 2008 when the Valencia County Sheriff's Office reopened the case. They received a tip that pointed them toward a specific area in Valencia County, which led to a large-scale excavation. Investigators believed they had located a site where Tara's remains might have been buried. Sadly, after several days of digging, no new evidence was found, leaving the investigation as cold as ever. The failed excavation only added to the family's frustration and the sense that justice remained out of reach. Tara's disappearance continued to weigh heavily on the community, with many people theorizing that individuals in the area knew more than they were willing to admit. Over the years, rumors circulated that local individuals had been involved in her abduction but had managed to evade justice. Despite these persistent rumors, law enforcement was never able to produce any credible evidence linking local suspects to Tara's case, adding to the overall sense of mystery surrounding her disappearance. One of the most prominent rumors points to a group of local boys who allegedly knew Tara and may have been following or harassing her on the day she disappeared. In the early 2000s, when a man named Henry Brown came forward with information suggesting that Tara may have been accidentally killed by two local boys while riding her bike. According to Brown, the boys were known troublemakers in the area, and after accidentally hitting Tara with their vehicle, they panicked and disposed of her body. According to this theory, these individuals came from influential or well-connected families in the area, which is why law enforcement may have been hesitant to pursue the case aggressively or uncover the truth. These rumors intensified after the discovery of the photograph found in 1989, believed by some to depict Tara bound and gagged. Some believe that certain individuals in the community knew more than they were letting on about her abduction and possible captivity. However, despite these rumors, no concrete evidence has ever been brought forward to substantiate the claims, and no arrests have been made in relation to these local individuals. The theories remain speculation, though they continue to fuel the mystery surrounding Tara's disappearance. There have been many theories regarding Tara's disappearance over the years. Some have speculated that she was abducted by a stranger, while others believe she may have been targeted by someone she knew. One of the most prevalent theories is that Tara was abducted by individuals in the truck that was seen following her that day. However, despite several eyewitness reports, police were never able to identify the owner of the vehicle or connect it to Tara's case. In addition to the rumors about local individuals being involved in Tara Calico's disappearance, other theories and rumors have surfaced over the years, though none have been conclusively proven. Some of these include The involvement of law enforcement. There have been persistent rumors suggesting that local law enforcement may have been involved, either directly or indirectly, in covering up the case. Some believe that police officers or individuals close to them were connected to those responsible for Tara's abduction. According to these rumors, this relationship resulted in a lack of urgency in the investigation, with some even suggesting that key evidence was ignored or tampered with. However, no official inquiry or investigation has confirmed these allegations. Another theory speculated that Tara may have been abducted by individuals involved in a larger criminal network, possibly tied to human trafficking. This rumor emerged after the Polaroid photograph was found in 1989, depicting a girl who many believe is Tara, bound and gagged alongside a young boy. The photograph led to speculation that she might have been kidnapped for human trafficking purposes, possibly sold to traffickers or kept in captivity for nefarious reasons. There has been speculation over the years that Tara may have fallen victim to a serial killer operating in the region at the time. Some believe her case could be linked to other unsolved disappearances and murders, especially given the lack of forensic evidence or a clear suspect. However, no serial killer has ever been definitively connected to Tara's disappearance, and investigators have been unable to find links between her case and other similar crimes. There have also been rumors that certain people in the community know more than they are letting on about Tara's abduction but are too afraid to come forward. These individuals may have witnessed something that day or heard information secondhand but have been silent due to fear of retaliation or involvement from powerful people in the area. This theory is supported by some locals who claim that more could have been done if certain individuals hadn't stayed quiet out of fear. Despite all these rumors, no solid evidence has emerged to confirm any of these theories. Tara Calico's disappearance remains one of the most mysterious unsolved cases, with theories continuing to circulate without resolution. In the years since Tara's disappearance, her case has become a symbol of the challenges and frustrations faced by families of missing persons. Despite the relentless efforts of her mother, Patty, and law enforcement, Tara's case remains unsolved. Over time, the national media attention surrounding her disappearance has faded, but her family has never stopped searching for answers. Patty passed away in 2006, still holding on to the hope that her daughter would one day return home or that her remains would be found. Despite the heartbreak, Tara's case continues to receive attention from true crime enthusiasts and amateur investigators. In recent years, the rise of social media and internet sleuths has brought renewed interest to her case, with online communities digging into the available evidence and trying to piece together what happened that fateful day. Yet, despite the many theories and ongoing speculation, Tara's fate remains one of the most enduring mysteries of the modern era. Tara's family has been vocal about the psychological toll her disappearance has taken on them, with her stepfather John sharing in interviews how he constantly feels her absence. In the years after Tara vanished, Patty spearheaded multiple campaigns, not only to bring attention to Tara's case but also to raise awareness for other missing person cases in New Mexico. She became a prominent figure in the movement for better resources and coordination in missing person investigations, pushing for reform that would prevent future families from enduring the same pain. While the case has gone cold, many believe that Tara's disappearance is solvable, and with modern advancements in technology, there is still hope. New techniques such as forensic genealogy and digital tracing offer a glimmer of possibility that one day the truth may come to light. Until then, the community of Belen, Tara's family, and the many who continue to follow her case can only hope that someday the mystery of Tara Calico's disappearance will be solved. If you or anyone you know has any information about Tara Calico's disappearance, or if you'd like to support ongoing efforts to bring her case to light, please check the links in the description. These resources include ways to provide tips, support investigations, and raise awareness for Tara's case. In the world of true crime, cold cases are sometimes solved after years of stagnation, often thanks to breakthroughs in technology or new evidence coming to light. Tara's family and those who loved her have held on to that hope for decades, and perhaps one day justice will be served, and the mystery surrounding her disappearance will be unraveled. As you reflect on Tara's story, we urge you to keep her case alive by sharing this video, subscribing to my channel, and hitting the notification bell so you never miss another story. Your support helps me continue exploring these chilling unsolved cases and bringing attention to the victims who still need answers. I would also love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Do you think the local boy's theory holds weight, or do you believe someone else was involved in Tara's disappearance? Let's keep the conversation going and hope that one day justice is served for Tara Calico.